The entire community was recently taken aback by the Shiba Inu development team. At Coinbase, an immense quantity of Shiba Inu have been taken. Panic is prevalent among individuals. Additionally, there is a potential loss of nearly 11 trillion Shiba Inu. Analysts are in a state of panic. However, the situation with Coinbase is becoming increasingly unmanageable. Is your Shiba Inu also impacted, and is there a method to retrieve the stolen funds? Certainly, we should investigate. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Previously, the price experienced a decrease. Indeed, it diminished somewhat. However, it is currently beginning to recover. However, this is where the peculiarity arises. The Shiba Inu community is not in any state of hysteria, despite the unstable price action. In reality, it is the exact inverse. There is an abundance of enthusiasm among individuals. Currently, the intensity on social media, the parodies, and the speculation are all at an all-time high. It is as though a significant event is in the making, and it is palpable to all. Finally, the Shiba Inu development team released a stunner just when you thought it was already too wild. They issued an urgent caution to Coinbase. Yes, that Coinbase, which was involved in the theft of a significant quantity of Shiba Inu. At first, this undoubtedly resulted in a state of terror. Individuals were perplexed, some were apprehensive. In addition, purses were being subjected to repeated inspections. It appeared as though the whole Shiba Inu environment was on the brink of disarray. However, please remain patient, as the situation is about to escalate. An analyst identified an aspect that was initially overlooked by a significant number of individuals. Currently, there is a significant amount of attention focused on Shiba Inu tokens, which amount to nearly 11 trillion. These tokens are not haphazardly dispersed. Whales, institutions, and retail merchants are all intently monitoring this sum. For what reason? For the reason that it occupies a critical technical level with a historical context. This is the same region from which Shiba Inu initiated a legendary rally. Something that is approximately 4 times its worth. It appears to be re-establishing itself at this time. Thus, the key inquiry is as follows. Is this the moment? The analyst's analysis was straightforward. Shiba Inu has recently returned to that precise level. The one that caused an insane breakout the final time we encountered it. This is the classic recovery that we are currently witnessing. It has already begun to ascend. What is the pressure to sell? It is subsiding. Fear? It is diminishing. The vitality that is so optimistic. The temperature is increasing rapidly. Naturally, nothing proceeds in a direct line. However, let's be honest. Shiba Inu has previously executed this action. Every time it is counted out or declines, it returns with an explosive force. There is an uncanny resemblance between the current configuration and the tranquility that preceded the previous monstrous rally. The tension is palpable, the volume is increasing, and the focus is returning to it. Additionally, what about the community? They are prepared. Therefore, what can investors anticipate at this time? In all honesty, it appears that the Shiba Inu is preparing for its next significant move. It is no longer solely about the excitement. This is potentially a perfect tempest, a psychological setup, and a technical setup. And if past is any indication, that rebound could be the commencement of something much more significant. Now, in terms of vast quantities, acquire this item. The data supporting Shiba Inu's recent bullish turn is truly remarkable. Open interest, which essentially indicates the amount of money and the number of contracts that are currently bound up in Shiba Inu transactions, has recently turned green. Additionally, we are not discussing a minor growth. More than 11 trillion Shiba Inu coins are presently sealed into these positions. That is accurate. 11 trillion. That is not a casual wager, that is an enormous signal. Typically, this type of surge indicates a single item. Traders, particularly those of a significant size, are preparing for maneuvers. It indicates that they are once again intrigued. They are prepared to invest in the notion that Shiba Inu may experience a significant event in the future. It is intriguing that a significant portion of this interest was generated immediately following the most recent decline. Rather than fleeing, individuals, particularly those on Gate.io, capitalized on the reduced prices. More than half of the open interest is held by that exchange alone. This is the accumulation of trillions of Shiba Inu, with millions of dollars supporting it, that level of assurance during a downturn. It is a daring maneuver, but it is also the type of maneuver that is observed immediately prior to a change in momentum. Many other significant exchanges are also participating. They are all experiencing activity, with trillions and billions of Shiba Inu coins being committed. It is a signal when a significant number of traders from various platforms are all accumulating, particularly during a pullback. It implies that individuals are placing bets on a recovery. And not just any recovery, they anticipate that Shiba Inu will awaken and potentially reemerge. Therefore, the act of pulling 11 trillion tokens into vacant positions is not a random occurrence. That is not background chatter. That is a conviction. Those are individuals who are expressing that, indeed, this entity has the potential to expand. In all honesty, the dev team's activity, the community's excitement, the fact that whales are once again involved, and the increasing volume all suggest that Shiba Inu may be preparing for a significant event. If you are monitoring the charts or simply observing the atmosphere surrounding this token, it is not the appropriate moment to turn your attention elsewhere. There is a possibility that something significant is imminent. Nevertheless, there is an additional item that is essential to take into account. Similar to the figures we previously discussed, this one is also substantial, just in a distinct manner. It is not a matter of price or charts. It pertains to protection. The Shiba Inu community has recently received an urgent warning, which is crucial for all individuals, particularly those who are actively trading or owning Shiba Inu. Therefore, this is the situation. The emergence of reports regarding a fraudulent email hoax that purports to originate from Coinbase has commenced. It has been rapidly disseminating itself among cryptocurrency holders, with a particular emphasis on Shiba Inu owners. This is not a mere phishing endeavor. The correspondence appears to be authentic. It employs the Coinbase logo, emulates the tone, and asserts that it is from the Coinbase compliance crew. It instructs individuals to verify their account information, failing which they will be prohibited from transferring, selling, or sending cryptocurrency. Sounds alarming, doesn't it? This is the precise mechanism by which schemes such as this operate. They attempt to induce hysteria in order to compel individuals to act without contemplation. Regrettably, fraudsters are most likely to strike when emotions are at an all-time high, particularly when Shiba Inu is in the public eye, as it is at present. The alert was received from a reputable source within the community, Shibarium TrustWatch, an X account that is dedicated to Shiba Inu and is consistently monitoring for potential threats. They have explicitly stated that you should refrain from clicking on any links, relinquishing your login credentials, and most importantly, refraining from entering your seed phrase. The purpose of this scheme is to deceive individuals in a timely manner, and once they have gained access, the situation is lost. However, there is some positive news. The Shiba Inu development team is not remaining mute. They are all involved in this. They have been providing consistent updates and reminders regarding the project's progress and the importance of maintaining a high level of alertness and safety in the field. This is the precise reason why the Shiba Inu Society is unique. It is not merely a matter of speculation and bluster. There is a genuine effort to safeguard holders and ensure that all parties are informed. In all honesty, that is quite potent. This implies that this is not merely a meme coin that is launched blindly. Structure and leadership are present, and developers are not hesitant to intervene and speak out when unethical activities are occurring. So, while the wide interest is generating commotion and the price movement is intensifying, it is important to remain vigilant. Scammers are fond of exploiting significant events such as this. However, by adhering to reliable sources, conducting thorough verifications, and refraining from disclosing confidential information, you are already ahead of the curve. The Shiba Inu community is fortified by incidents such as this. We confront it, engage in dialogue, and persevere through it in unison. And now, here is something that could potentially excite you. We have already observed a surge of optimistic sentiment regarding Shiba Inu. However, if this subsequent analysis is accurate, we may be in for a significant event. Therefore, examine this. The Shiba Inu is exhibiting characteristics of a classic pattern known as the inverse head and shoulders, as per a technical expert named Marx. Now, if you are not particularly interested in charting, there is no need for concern. This pattern typically manifests following an extended period of decline and indicates a significant turnaround. It is akin to the market expressing that it has had sufficient of the red. We are prepared to reverse the situation. What is the matter is that this trend is not merely a temporary arrangement. It has been developing gradually and consistently since early 2022, and it is now beginning to manifest itself in mid-2025. The neckline of the structure, which is essentially the point at which a breakout could erupt, is being closely monitored. Additionally, the target cost would be in the vicinity of the fantasy zone if the Shiba Inu is able to surpass that threshold. We are discussing a prospective increase of more than 5 times its current value. Allow that to settle in for a moment, 5 times the present level. However, the subject matter is not limited to the lines on a graph. Additionally, we are observing genuine vigor within the engine. This assertion is substantially supported by on-chain data. The Shiba Inu network has experienced a significant increase in activity from early to mid-2025. There has been a significant increase in the number of individuals who are participating, the number of wallets that are being created, and the number of negative balance addresses, which indicates that wallets are being prepared. This type of movement is typically not an accident. Historically, these rises in wallet activity have been observed prior to a significant pricing change. It appears as though the market is discreetly preparing, accumulating pressure in the background. Therefore, this could be the initial phases of a significant breakout if the pattern as it is currently forming continues. Now connect this to the current situation. Open interest is increasing. Traders are accumulating Shiba Inu during declines, developers are safeguarding the community, and now a massive bullish pattern is silently developing in the background. The pieces are beginning to come together. No, the price has not yet reached its all-time high. Indeed, there is still a significant amount of work to be done. However, these signals, which are both technical and fundamental, are conveying a distinct message. Shiba Inu is awakening. And, if the current trajectory continues, this could potentially serve as the commencement of the next significant chapter. However, what is your perspective on this matter? Comment in the space provided below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up to see our most recent material, share it, and subscribe to the channel.